We now have a quorum, so I'd now like to call to order the meeting of the directors of the Erie Canal Harbor Development Corporation for Wednesday, October 15th, 2014. I am not Robert Joya, but I'm acting chair today because Mr. Joya is unable to join us. We are joined by directors Hogan and Makula and DiVirgilio in Washington, D.C. As always, this meeting is being webcast. The directors have received the relevant written materials in advance of today's meeting and are free to ask questions at any time. Consistent with the policy of our parent corporation, we welcome public comment on items on the following agenda. After each item is presented and any comments are received from the directors, we will allow members of the public to provide comments. All comments should be limited to 2 minutes and should only address the item that is under consideration. Before we begin with the substantive portion of the meeting, I would like to ask the directors whether anyone has any potential conflict of interest with respect to any of the items on today's agenda.
No.
Hearing none, the foregoing have been noted for the record. Wait a minute. Okay. If so, I would like to ask, I would like to please make an appropriate disclosure. We had no disclosures. Foregoing have been noted for the record. Our first order of business is the approval of the minutes of the directors meeting of April 2015. Do I have a motion to approve? Mr. Colligan, seconded by McCall. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And before we go to the first real item on the agenda, I'd like to as always, welcome all of our guests to today's meeting and thank our partners in elected office. I see Assemblyman Sean Ryan is present, and as always, we have staff from Congressman Higgins' office. If there's others that I've missed, I apologize, but welcome all. The next item is I'm going to ask Tom D. to request the authorization for the corporation to, among other things, adopt the general project plan for the first Buffalo Marina Civic Project. Huh?
Thank you, Sam. This is to move forward with a general project plan, which is certainly protocol for what we do on a capital construction project. This site is outside of Canalside, and therefore it's similar to what we did at Wilkinson Point. So it's to prepare a general project plan. The purpose of that is to have a public hearing and talk about what we're doing and what we'd like to do on the other side of the river over at First Buffalo Marina. In terms of the proposed project, it includes rehabilitation and limited reconstruction of an existing boat dock and installation of supporting amenities to provide passenger bicycle-only ferry across the City of Buffalo to the City of Buffalo's outer harbor. We're pretty excited about this. This is an opportunity to have a direct link to the outer harbor. From a background standpoint, ECHDC and the New York Power Authority have had ongoing discussions regarding a ferry stop at the First Niagara Marina for the past several years. We've met over there with Congressman Higgins in his office years ago, and today we're pushing that ball forward. Now, given the increased focus on development of the outer harbor, public comments received during the blueprint process in the past several years of experience providing water ferry services, the two agencies agreed to develop a preliminary plan to incorporate a ferry stop at the northern end of the First Buffalo Marina property owned by NYPA. The ferry stop location provides the most direct and efficient service route between the inner and outer harbor. As I say, we're pretty excited about this idea. We've talked for years about how do we get to the outer harbor and how do we get pedestrians, how do we get bicycles, and this is actually the plan to do it. So the goals and the objectives, maintain seasonal marine-based services for commuters and other pedestrian traffic between the inner and outer harbor, enhance bicycle access to the outer harbor. We know and love the outer harbor. We want to make it more vibrant. Bringing in bicyclists, giving them a connection, an opportunity to get out there is really the way to do that. And this also supports the outer harbor blueprint short-term connecting strategy. So we like that. Environmental review, ESD staff has looked at this. recognize that it's less than 4,000 square feet in total, and therefore constitutes a Type 2 action as defined by the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act. So no further environmental review is required at this time. Therefore, the requested action, the directors are requested to make findings and determinations pursuant to Section 10D and 10G of the New York State Urban Development Corporation Act of 1968, adopt First Buffalo Niagara Marina General Project Plan, authorize a public hearing to be held, and take all related action.
Let me just make a quick comment on this, if I may, Tom. First of all, we've acted as a board on this issue in the past. We've spoken at length about how important it is for us to provide that access to the outer harbor. We've heard from experts across the country, including CNU, and many, many others. Our own friends locally, that you got to provide direct access that's reliable, affordable, and accessible to the general public in Buffalo. So this is a really exciting project, and I want to ask my colleagues if you have any questions or comments before we take any action.
I'm curious as to how close this sharing facilities down there. So, how close is it? 100 to the or at least over 100 yards away. All right.
So they'll coexist, but they're not shared facilities.
Not shared facilities.
I also want to, as I mentioned, and as Tom mentioned, we've had great support years from our colleagues in elected office. Tom mentioned Congressman Higgins' support of this project, but I have to say that really one person and catalyst in insisting that this project get done and get done quickly has been Assemblyman Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan is here today, and Assemblyman, if you'd like to offer a couple comments at this time, we'd welcome them. Grab a seat.
Hey everybody, hello to everybody who's not here. I see Mike DiVirgilio, my friend from Washington. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Sean.
Let's just start by thanking Jeff Hoyt, but also Chairman Joya, who's not here, Governor Cuomo, and NYPA for their cooperation and certainly pushing forward. We all share a common goal on the outer harbor and access to the waterfront. And one of the most frustrating things about being at Canal Side is you look over there and say, boy, I'd really like to be there. So activity is something that we've been a challenge of ours with the geography out there, but with the ferry, I think the connection between the inner harbor and the outer harbor, I'm confident the ferry will be well received by the public. It will be very successful. I look forward to working with ECHPC in the spirit of activating the outer harbor to make sure that help activate the lighthouse, Times Beach, Wilkinson Point, and then the emerging sailing school that's out there. So when we drop people on the other side, we need to work hard to make sure that there's something to do out there and that they'll use that trip again. But I can't applaud more your willingness to go forward with this. I encourage everyone here today to take a yes vote on this action. But I think it's going to be a huge step towards connecting the inner and the outer harbor in a relatively inexpensive way. So for your continued support on this, and I encourage you to approve this today.
Great. Thank you, Assemblyman, and thanks for your leadership over the years on this particular issue and many others that we work together on. Any other comments from the public at this time? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Seconded by McConnell. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. And finally, I'd like to call on Tom to present us with his President's report. This item is being presented just for our information only, and no vote will be required.
Thank you, Sam. The start of autumn doesn't signal the end of waterfront fun. There's still something to do outside every day. I want to just go back a couple of weeks and talk about the fact that we had the second annual Buffalo Maritime Festival. Probably attracted 10,000 visitors, highlighted by the Brig Niagara and our very own Spirit of Buffalo. So we had a great little celebration, and we're very proud of that. Subsequent to that, this past weekend, Harbor Center, our great partners, sponsored the Fall Festival at Canalside, 3-day celebration. It's the first time we've had that. It was a huge success. Thousands came to Canalside on a beautiful weekend. So we're really thrilled with that, and thank Harbor Center for being part of that as a major event. It was a great way to highlight Canalside. Winter planning, the program planning is being finalized as we look to bring ice skating, ice bikes, curling, broomball, tons of winter fun, winter family fun to Canalside.
Did you say ice bike?
Ice bike, something new, yet to be rolled out.
You have an ice bike yet?
I don't have one yet, but I'll have one with big bumpers. We want to talk about this as a year-round destination. That's what we're looking at. In a little over 3 years, Canalside has clearly made the transition from a three-month seasonal space focused with a focus on concerts only, and really to a year-round destination with something to do every day. So we're really proud of that accomplishment. Design updates, the Outer Harbor. As of today, the planning team continues to consider the numerous expressions of public interest. Perkins and Will is also continuing to study and refine a revised preferred plan based on such input and other technical and financial analysis related to the implementation. The plan is currently expected to be released to the public later this fall. South Outlock, the restaurant, the Children's Museum, which we're so excited about. We continue to review the schematic design drawings on that and look forward to the completion of that and moving forward. And then construction updates. The grain elevator lighting is a project that's a work in progress, and we look forward to lighting up the connecting terminal probably late next spring. And then back to Harbor Center. I mean, what exciting news. They are great guns. Official grand opening is set for November 6th. And before the grand opening, they have some hockey going on with Canisius and Ohio State stated for October 31st. So it's pretty amazing if you look at that building right now and recognize they will be playing hockey there. So also the 2016 NHL Draft will be hosted by the Sabres. So talk about a great partner to have at Canalside between the Buffalo Sabres and Harbor Center. We just couldn't be happier in terms of who our neighbors are. Ohio Street construction is in full swing ahead of schedule thanks to the City of Buffalo and partnering on that. The East Canal, we've had great success with the East Canal. And we talked about ice skating, so historically aligned canals, progress is apparent. So skating will happen soon. So I would just say in closing, don't forget to sharpen skates, get ready for ice skating. Stay tuned to canalsidebuffalo.com, our Facebook page, and our Twitter account as we add more fall and winter things to do and turn Canalside into a year-round destination. Thank you.
You know, after each president's report, I'm reminded of just how much this agency, this corporation, is actively involved with, how many construction projects, how many plans are in the works to improve Buffalo's waterfront. And Tom, it goes without saying we appreciate your good work, but I'd like to again acknowledge the very small but incredibly hard-working staff that we have at the Erie Canal Harbor Development Corporation. I know I speak for Mike and David and Macau when I say we appreciate the hard work that you do, the long hours that you put in, and I hope that you all recognize and appreciate the fruits of your labors. It's being recognized not only locally but nationally and beyond. So to the entire team at Erie Canal Harbor, thanks for your hard work and thanks for your report, Tom. Hearing no other questions or comments, do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting? So from David, seconded by Macau. Thank you all very much. Before I close, I saved the best for last. I acknowledge the great team at Congressman Higgins' office, Sean Ryan and his good team. Mark Polenkars has sent his best commissioner, Maria White, to participate. We appreciate, Maria, the leadership that you provide. County Executive Polenkars does. Thank you all for coming.